Hey guys, what's up? It's Kane here, and we're back with another video, and today we're looking at SimpsonsWave. Wavy. So, you're probably here because you want to create what is here on screen, and they're very popular at the minute with the vaporwave kind of theme, and with all these kind of sad, depressing kind of music, which kind of works with the theme, the visuals that they put. The tutorial is actually way easier to do than you would imagine, and it didn't take me too long to pick it up either, so let's get into it. So firstly, you'll want to open up Premiere, and then once you've done that, you want to make sure you've got the Simpsons footage that you want. So take a YouTube search and search for any kind of Simpsons footage that is kind of in your, that feels right for you. And you also want to have, if you're making a GIF, then you don't need music, but if you're making a video, let's say, like these music videos, then choose a song that is non-copyright. I would have gone with XXXTentacion, but I would get copyright for that. So you want to create a new project, call it SimpsonsWave 2, because I've already done it. So once you have that, you want to then import your Simpsons footage. So I'll go ahead and import mine. So import your footage. Once that's imported, go into Premiere, make a new composition. Not a new composition, that's After Effects. Make a new sequence. It's a new sequence. Make it 1080. Cool. And then import your footage, keep existing settings. Now once you have your footage in, you want to choose a scene in the footage that you want to keep as your main frame, because what we're going to be doing is cutting out part of the image and then using the background as like visuals. So I'm going to go with I've already done it myself, so I've cut out this image of Bart. But first, you want to export the frame, so go over to this button here, the camera icon, and click it, and it will ask you to export to your desktop, and as a JPEG, do that. And then import your footage back into the image, back into this comp. So now you can see I have just that one frame. So once you've got that one frame, now if you hide the bottom layer, now we want to mask out Bart, and then we'll start doing the cooler stuff. So what you want to do is grab your pen tool, which is over here, and you can do this either really accurate, or I'm going to do it really quickly just for tutorial's sake. Click on the sequence, go to effects, and then click on where it's opacity, then do the free draw Bezier tool, and then go over Bart. So we've got Bart cut out. Now we can turn on the layer below, and what we'll have is the footage. Next, you want to add a feather to that mask, because obviously you can see the edges. So feather that out by quite a bit if you want. Doesn't matter too much, because once you have all the layering of the other effects, you're not going to notice it too much. If you want to do it perfect, then go in and do it perfect. So now we've got that. The next step is to get our visuals, and I used the app Glitché in the video you saw at the beginning. I took visuals that I took over the weekend, and I completely messed with it, so I twisted it and added VHS overlays and then imported it that way. If you want these kind of visuals and you don't want to pay for the app, then subscribe and send me a message, and I'll send you a link with a couple in there. I do plan to release a pack full of loads of visuals, so we'll be having that soon. But yes, let's get our footage in. So I have this is just one I made. Put Lonely in the background, because you're seeing a lot of the Simpsons ones. You have like No Sleep, Lonely, whatever. It all sets the tone. So I've done that on this one anyway. So next we want to choose a bit of footage that you want to loop. So see this footage of Bart screaming in the background. Let's do the whole sequence of that. So cut that there, delete the rest, and then duplicate that a few times. And then we got the same clip in repeat. Turn off the audio for it because we don't need it, or delete it, or mute it. And now we have Bart and then him in the background doing this. So we're almost there. We just need to make it look cool. So now we want to import, so we've got that footage. Cool. So now what we're going to do is a lot of layering, and that's how you build up what's going on. So let's put this one, bring this one up there, bring this one in. So that's already starting to look pretty much like it. Still needs some work though. So let's do it. I changed the blending mode on this to difference, which then created this super weirdness with the colours, and it kind of made it look a little bit very, like, quite trippy. So as you can see, it's like all the colours, it already looks pretty mad. So we'll go with that for now. And next step is to create an RGB split on Bart. So let's do that. So let's create a couple new layers. It's good to name things because that way you know which layer is which. But if you alt drag and go up to the next layer, you duplicate it. So do that twice. That's alt drag. And then now what we want to do is go into your effects panel, go to type in color, and then look for balance. Color balance RGB. Put that on the bottom layer, and then change the values of red to 0, green to 0, enter, then add another color balance onto the middle track, and on this one you want to keep the red 100 and green and blue 0. So we've got that done, and then we want to put it on the top layer and do the same, but this time we want the blue to be 100. Was that right? Blue, is it? Oh no, green, not blue. And then put blue 0. So we have a footage. Wait, Bart's green. That's not what we're looking for. So let's change the blending modes of these layers. So now what we want to do is change the layer mode from normal to screen, and that will layer them all on top and you get your original image. But now here comes the magic. If you go up to your position keyframe and move that slightly to the left, well, there we go. We've got some RGB split. We do move that slightly, move that wherever you want. I sometimes like moving the bottom layer, you get like a purple hue. It's quite nice. So adjust that to where you like it. And there we are, we're almost there. So next, we want to colour correct the image, because you'll notice in the other footage, it's very, like, there's a lot of purple hues and blues, stuff that kind of fits the sad tones, kind of cold colours. And some of it, they've dropped the saturation a little bit so that you've got like just a bit more moody image. So what we want to do is create a new adjustment layer. Thing first, right click here, new item, adjustment layer. Now add that on top of everything. And when we go into there, we want to go to effects. And then the best one I use usually is Lumetri. So go with that. But we don't want that, we just want the Lumetri color and color correction. Add that on top. Now go into color wheels. There we go. There we are. So what I did was I brought the shadows to purple just slightly, well, kind of like around here. And then midtones, don't want to go too crazy because you don't want the image to look too purple. You kind of want it to still feel nice. And highlights you don't have to touch, but you can kind of see the effect you get when you play with it. I'm not going to undo that. Turn the shadows down just a tad. Go to here, search noise. or maybe it's green. Oh, there we go, noise. So add a noise. And then bump that up to 10, or maybe a bit more, 20. Yeah, so we're getting like this VHS kind of look now. Once that's in, now all we need to do is layer on top our VHS footage, which you get like the lines and the cuts and the scratches. Before we do that, let's put that adjustment layer below Bart, because I don't want him to be affected as much by the colouring. So if we move that, move this layer down, there we go. So now the Bart stands out a bit more for main image. So now we need to add in our dusts and scratches. So go to wherever you may have saved them. You can find them on the internet, YouTube them, there's so many. Oh, I've got some from Max Novak. He's a really good designer, well, video editor on YouTube, check him out. And he released this overlay pack, so I'll link you in the description. So you just import a few, see which ones work with your footage. I found that with the overlaying, the darker your footage, the better the overlays work. If you have really bright light footage, you can't always see the white streaks with an overlay, so bear that in mind. Just add in that. Add that on top. And then bump it up if you need to. The size, usually they're a little bit, oh, wrong, so long there. Bump it up just a tad. 150 should do if it's that. And then whack it onto overlay. As you can see, you've got all these kind of grainier footage, and it's coming in. Shouldn't play or sort of bug me out. But as you can see, it's really, really dark. So we can change the layer sometimes to soft light, so it's not as dark, and you can change the opacity down if you need to like 80%. And there we are, we haven't got such a dark image, and we're still keeping those film cuts and grains. That was practically what I did to create this. Now, if you wanted to go more in depth, you could do images, or you can, instead of doing images, you could use like a video and then mask around. You want to roto around the image. I've seen loads where Bart's maybe like walking with his headphones. You could roto around that, do it for a few, maybe like, I don't know, 2 seconds roto, and then do the exact same thing that we like masked, and then you put it on there, and then you can do moving background, so he's like moving into like the clouds or something, walking in space, etc. like that. It takes a little bit more time, and if you would like a tutorial on that, let me know and I'll create a tutorial rotoing out Bart. But yeah, so once you've done that, that's pretty much your SimpsonsWave, VAPORWAVE type image. In the original image, I did a bit more playing with the levels of the colouring, as it's a little bit darker. And I also added, and the footage here, I added that twice and then did it with a different overlay, and then it created like a more warped vision. Actually, going back, I'll show you one more thing. So if you want to create a little bit more distortion, go to Effects, Turbulence, Displace, and then apply that to your bottom layer, which is the footage of Simpsons. Apply that, and then go down, and then go to 0 on your keyframes. Change the amount, put the amount as 50, keyframe it, go ahead to like 1 second, and then bump it up to like 100, and you'll get this warping, which is really cool, and it's kind of like wavy, trippy. And then go to 2 seconds, and then put that back down to 50, and then repeat the process, and you'll get like a subtle warp, just like constant like warp throughout the background, and you loop that and loop that and loop that, and there you are, you've got your music. You want to put your music in below, And there you are, there's your SimpsonsWave video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like button and share with your friends. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.